Hello, hope your day is going well. Today we're going to be doing the Bene Gesserit Advanced Training class. Alright, and to show you where the Advanced Trainer of the Bene Gesserit is, we need to go to Harko Village, right, and up there's where the plane is. Just run straight down and you'll be here. Just keep going straight, right, when you see the red hologram there, you take a right. Okay, and so you'll see that ahead, that's the exit. Now, if you didn't take the taxi here and you flew here, you'll actually come in this gate. So then you would come over to where I am now. You come through the gate and come to where I am now and turn left. Alright, but we would, if you took the taxi, you would come until you saw the gate and then you would turn right. Okay, and the Bene Gesserit trainer is right here. Alright, when you get the first quest from them, it may be best to also go straight across over to where the Swordmaster is and get the Swordmaster quest as well. Especially if you don't, that way you're doubling up and not having to come back and forth, back and forth. These are the two trainers that are here. So make sure you talk to both of them and go ahead and do both their quests just to save time. Alright, so once you've talked to them, and it's pretty straightforward, I'll give you the quest, and then we gotta head back to the basin. And for those of you wanting a map, the map is a little broken. As you can see, you can't really see up there. The Bene Gesserit's about here, and the Swordmaster would be about here. This is kind of the end of the map. Just won't let you move. The map's so messed up. Yeah, hopefully they'll fix that someday. Alright, so for the first quest, you're going to want to travel to the anvil. Alright, if you're fast traveling, instead of flying on your own, you're going to travel to the anvil and then just fly straight across to over here, or take your sand bike, whatever you have. And then over here, just north of like the anvil kind of hammer mountain, just north of it in this canyon. I'll go ahead and show you. So there's the anvil type hammer thing, and then you come down and into this canyon. Go into there. Now, if you fly in here, you might get shot at, so just be ready for that. These guys can mostly be taken with starter gear. But to be safe, pick up your vehicle, drop down a spawn box. And you should have the icon telling you where to go. If not, then just follow through here. But we just go inside. Right, and very quickly you'll run into this room that has the blue door. Grab the blue band over here. It could be maybe... looks blue to me. So, whatever color it is for you. Alright. And then you can, of course, there's loot. You can keep going, getting more loot, but now that we have the band, we can go through this door here. Alright, once in here, you can go ahead and grab the loot. Alright, you see there's a sandstorm coming, so it's a good thing I picked up my helicopter, right? Okay, once you're in this room, though, where you got that loot, right, you turn and look. You can go up into this hole here. Right, this is where we need to go to get the items for the quest. Right, and once you're in this room, you can see you got the special chest here, so you can get some rewards for that. Some decent stuff. All right, it changes, so. And as you can see, if you're in that room, you can kind of see in this room, and that's how you get to this room. All right, but here's what it is. All right, we'll go in to the where you see this little weird mesh stuff gate kind of thing. The urn here, we can interact. All right, we got the bloodline records there. Right, then we need to leave and go to the stone sentinel, which is further away. We're gonna wait for the sandstorm to pass, so we might as well continue around in here and loot some more stuff. All right, so the next part of the quest brings you all the way up to find the path up to the stone sentinel, right? From where we just were, which was way down here by the anvil. Okay, so we were just here. We had to travel north up to here, kind of northwest, past all of this, and we're in the eastern shield wall. All right. And while you were in here, if you went ahead and moved forward and looted through some more of this cave, you may have found the hand scanner you'll need for the next quest. If not, you'll need to make a hand scanner for the next quest. So you'll make sure you have that in case you don't want to go by your base the next time you come back from turning in the quest. Anyway, So here we are. This is what it looks like. You can find this is one. This time it's working on our mini map, so that's good. If you notice with the Swordmaster, some stuff wasn't working, so this will pretty much bring you right to it. Right, we found the path to up the Stone Sentinel, and now we need to travel up the Stone Sentinel up this path. So you can do this on foot. Of course, getting here and traveling up it is much easier with the helicopter. Right, there's some loot along the way up the path. You can keep an eye out for it if you're interested in the loot that's in this area. Right, so you keep climbing, going up this hill. As you can see, keeps going and going. And this is too high altitude for the helicopter. We're going to burn a lot of our fuel, which is fine if you have a lot of fuel. Right, so you keep going up and up and up, and there's some more loot on the way. This is kind of like an earlier mountain. You can go up until you get to the top, and there's a great reward at the top. And there's loot chest all along the way up that one as well. It's near the kind of near the anvil. Oh, we overheated. We got too high up. My bad. All right, just follow the path. Follow the path. That'll show you the way up. Right, you have all these little hooks and stuff where the climbers went the first time through, or however many times through they've done it. Let using the vehicle because you won't get heat struck that way. You may want to wait till nighttime to do this if you're not going to use the airplane to get up here. I constantly find shadows you can hide in, but as you can see, there really aren't. So we're just going to have to deal with the effects of heat stroke, so bring water with you. Alright, when you can, find shadows to rest in. The mini lane spicy beer we just found in this chest, you want to hang on to that. You're going to need that later on. You don't necessarily have to have it, you can buy it, but this way you save yourself a little money by getting it as you go. Alright, we've climbed into the mouth of the Stone Sentinel. Now what we're looking for is in here. Right, it's going to be that urn there on the left, and then there's our main loot chest here, which will have a bunch of goodies in it for us, right? But what we're looking for is this. So we interact with it. Right now we have the list of names. Right now we just got to deliver the records. Alright, so then we go back to the Harkonnen village, and we go in here, whatever it's called. Anyway, we talk to Jakata. Again, we go back to the Bene Gesserit trainer, right? Tell her we completed it. Turn them over to her, and then we'll get the next quest. Right, then after you set the next quest, of course we go back to the basin. And since I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and turn in stuff to the Swordmaster, which is what I recommend you do, both these quests at the same time. They're in similar areas. Alright, when you travel to the basin, you either want to go to the trade post or the anvil. They're both kind of close. The trade post looks like it's slightly closer, but just slightly. If you're on the Swordmaster mission for the Tabaxi Eyes, or however you say it, you want to go to the Pinnacle Station. Right, we're going to go, and then we're going to travel into the Oldham. It's kind of in the north of the Oldham, and it's going to be where we actually went for the basic quest to get the just to learn the Bene Gesserit class. All right, so we'll go in there. All right, there's two locations for this quest, and they're both kind of right beside each other. All right, so we'll go into this building first, and then we'll go from there over into that building. And if you kind of zoom in a little bit more on the map to give you an idea, we're going to be going into Stone Step Village and then over into this area here. Right, with Stone Step Village, the doorway to get in is right here. We've been in here before. Again, I recommend aluminum tier gear at least, and to make it easier. And of course, you're going to need the hand scanner, like we talked about earlier. As always, pick up your vehicle in case there's a sandstorm and drop down a respawn beacon. There will be a few enemies in here if you remember from the last time you were here. Alright, just go through and clear them out, and we'll head up to the room that we need. Alright, but then we'll head up. So once you come through the door to the right, there's stairs, and you can head up. You can go up to the top however you choose. You can follow the stairs, or you can use your, a jumping thing from the paleontologist class, or however you want to do it. Right, the trick is to just get up to the top here. And then once we get to this room, right, you'll see this stone pillar as you're coming up, and then you'll start seeing these lit up lights. Right, just inside the door and to the right is what we're going to need, or we're going to use the scanner on. Now, there's a bunch of enemies in here. If you don't want to fight them, you just want to use the scanner, run in, grab it, and run out. If you want to fight the enemies, you can get some loot from this room as well. So you come in, scan, and it should show you. Oh, maybe we didn't scan it. Okay, we got to actually walk in, scan. All right, you got to actually come in there on the way in the room, scan, and then you can get it. So this is it. We used our scanner to pick up the trail. Someone stole the contents. Okay, so we're good there. And now we can either fight and go get the rest of the loot in the room, run around, grab the loot, or just escape. You can grab the loot without fighting if you really want to. Just watch out. Right, and once you leave there, basically then drop down to that building we showed you earlier, is right below. Right, we're going to go inside this building here. Right, as you can see, the entrance is on the other side of the building that we're showing you. You can go in through here where this doorway is. If you can see, there's no enemies, so we can kind of land. There's enemies in there, so you want to be careful about landing right here, but you could. Once you dispatch the enemies, or what we're looking for is right here. We've got an urn. We can grab that. Right, now we've recovered the fragment. And now we can head back to Jocasta. Or we can travel through here and, you know, get the intel and get some loot from this building. Of course, then we head back to Harkonnen village, right? And we go in here and talk to Bene Gesserit trainer. Right, now they're sending us back to the basin, and we got to go to a testing station. So there you go, another testing station. Okay, so we're going to be going to testing station number 71, which is really close to the Crossroads trade post. Right, it's pretty easy to get to. And once you're here, it looks like the entrance looks like that. So once again, drop a respawn beacon outside. That way you don't have to risk your vehicle getting eaten by a sandstorm. Now, this is a testing station, so it's pretty straightforward. If you've done any testing stations so far, right, you've gotten used to them. Right, and then from the main loot chest, turn right, head over, there'll be a little doorway. It's marked with this red kind of light stick here. Come in, and this is where the book is at. Take our book, and now we can head back to Jocasta. Right, and this next part's where you're going to want to make sure you have a spiced beer in your inventory for, or you'll have to buy one. Alright, so once you return to Jocasta, Jocasta won't be here. So now we have to find her. This person right here, we talk to them and see if they've witnessed anything. Alright, then he's going to send us to the bar to talk to a mercenary in the back. So we'll just head over and chat with them. On the way into the bar, you can always grab the beer if you don't have it. The bartender sells the beer. So we'll just head to the back here. If you don't, sometimes the waypoint works, sometimes it doesn't. Right, this guy will not talk to us though without a beer, so make sure you have it.
Something.
Got time for a few questions. We ask him, buy me a spice ale, and you can have it. Ask anything you want. So we got him one. Alright, so as you're talking to him, if you say, I'm sorry, I don't know where she is, he'll be like, that's alright, we already know where she is. She's hiding out in the Odem, so now we gotta go back there and find her. Which means fast traveling back to the crossroads. If you're fast traveling, of course. Alright, so from the crossroads, right, we'll head northwest-ish and head over to the spot it tells you, which is the ambush location. If we look down and around, it's going to be inside this structure here. Right, and so then we get ambushed, and how we need to defeat the ambush. These guys are decently tough, so be careful. Right, once you clear the area, just head over to the marker. If it's not on the map, just follow along where I'm going. That's just 200 meters from there. Alright, we see some bodies hanging, and then we can take a right, come around here. And there's Jocasta hiding in these little trees here. The blue light, so not very well hidden. I think only the player can see that, I guess. Right, then she leaves, and now we gotta head back and talk to her back at the, in the Arco village, so we'll head back over to there. You notice these trainer missions are just a bunch of running around, back and forth doing something really short and then spending a lot of time traveling. So after you return and you talk to Jocasta and got the next quest, then we'll show you where to go. This one's actually got some choices during the conversation. So you want to choose the second choice on everything until it gets to the time choice. And then you ask how long is a long time. And then that should put you on the right path and you should be able to complete it. If you make any mistakes during the choices, it's not closed off to you. You just re-talk to her and go through the choices again. No big deal. Alright, so let's head back to the basin. And for this, we're going to need a You need a radiation suit for this quest, kinda. If you don't have one, you can get away without using one. You just have to be really fast. If you have iodine pills, those could help too. Again, we'll do it without the radiation suit, so just to show you that it can be done without one. Alright, so for this quest, we'll be heading down into the Jabal area to a place that has, to this intel place called the Slant, where you can collect some intel if you haven't already gotten it. And of course, the closest fast travel point is going to be the Pinnacle. Anyway, so we'll be going down into this building. And we'll be getting the, what we're looking for is in the same room with the intel. Once you've cleared the enemies, you go up the stairs here to where this generator is on the left. That gives you some batteries. Right, fuel cells are called. This room here is where the intel will be if you haven't already gotten it. If you have it, then it won't be here. But what you're looking for is on this little table here. We can grab that. Right, now we've investigated the Syndicate. Now we have to go investigate them somewhere else. Alright, for the next part, now we're going to have to go back past the Pinnacle stage and head over to here to get the next secret. And I'm pretty sure these aren't available. Like, you can't grab them until you've already gotten the previous one. So you can't jump ahead and do things early, unfortunately. Alright, so your guide should have brought you right to this, but just in case, this is what the building looks like. Show you where it's at on the map again. It's just right up here, just straight west of the Pinnacle Station, basically. Up on the side of this hill here, the Fangs of Markib. Alright, and you just land, go in and get the, we'll go in and get the book, and we'll get out. Alright, once you dispatch the enemies, or if you just want to run past them, you can go kind of in the building. It's just inside the building, and on the right, you can see the scroll sticking out of the box right there. So we've got to grab. Alright, you can read it, go through. Now we find the Syndicate fight logs is the next quest. And as you can see, it's 4,000 meters away. Alright, so we got to go all the way down into Misa Teril, down into the Shoel, and we're going to be going the secrets of the Syndicate here, the fight logs. So this is where the radiation is going to be. And it's a lot easier to do this in a radiation suit, but we don't have to have a radiation suit. Right, if you're looking for iodine pills, if you don't, which are pretty easy to make, you can come over into here and find the plants in here that give iodine pills, and they hold them. Alright, so you can see we're going to be going into that ship there, but it's just inside the radiation zone. So we're going to want to land, we're going to want to put our plane outside the radiation zone and our spawn point outside the radiation zone. You could use your vehicle as your respawn point if you wanted, but as you can see, there's death worms all over the place out here, and you want, on top of that, a sandstorm might come. I would recommend using a respawn point, which is what I'm going to do. This building here is also pretty cool. You can get some good loot out of this building here as well, but these guys are really strong. Alright, but we need to be able to get across there. As you see, we're in the PvP zone now. We don't want to be in the PvP zone. So we're going to have to land over here if we want to leave our vehicle out. But if we're okay with the... And that's also radiation right there too. So we want to stay right outside the radiation zone so we can land right here. And we can leave our vehicle here because it's outside the PvP zone if you want. You're risking a sandstorm though. What I recommend really is throwing down a respawn beacon. And this is a Bene Gesserit quest, so you could use the Bene Gesserit speed to just run over there and get through the dunes without getting killed by the death worm. But there's also other abilities you can use to do it. Just know they may attract the death worm. See, like that. And now I'm getting radiated, so we don't have long. So I would recommend the Bene Gesserit speed skill just to get through here quickly because of the radiation. Should be using it myself. Okay, the enemies here are really strong, so be careful. Alright, we're radiated. We don't have a whole lot of time left before we die and have to come back. But that's okay. We can clear them out, die, come back. But it will do some major damage to your gear. Let's keep that in mind. Run in to the left. Right here's the book. You can grab it. And it died. Right, we'll use our Bene Gesserit speed this time to get in and show you how it works. Alright, now we died. Alright, so let's go. It really makes the death worm angry, so make sure you are getting off the sand quickly. Right, but that just pushes through, and now the enemies are dead. Well, you should be able to get in a lot easier. You could try and just run past them, but again, they're strong. That might not work out well for you. So once you get into the ship, alright, it's just on the left side. Again, we did loot a radiation suit while on this mission. Not this mission specifically, but on this quest line. So you could get a, you may have gotten lucky and gotten that as well, so then you can do this. Okay. Let's take everything we dropped, grab our book. This is a PvP zone, so there may be PvP players here. Since they know this is a quest line area, they may be waiting to get you, but it's unlikely at the so. And there are traps in here, so listen for them. You can try and loot in here, but again, you have a very limited amount of time before you die of radiation poisoning because you don't have any, you don't have a radiation suit on. Right, so yeah, it is possible that a radiation suit, but I'd definitely take that, or at the very least iodine. Right, your next location is going to be in the Odom up here. Right, if you notice, we were all the way down here, so we're going to be flying northwest, going to the Odom, and then this is what it's going to look like. Alright, so once you're in the Odom, you'll see this in this once you're at this location. You would think maybe it's where we've been before because you recognize this area. We've gone here to get in the beginning of the Bene Gesserit quest if you didn't start with a class. Right, so there were some items along across that bridge we needed. This time what we need is actually under the mountain in a little tunnel here. So we'll head down. Now, there'll be some enemies, so you may want to be careful about putting your vehicle down here. Alright, once you're down here in the bottom, there's a little tunnel here with this on it. You hit it. Alright, you go in and clear out the enemies that are in here waiting for you. Alright. But the traps don't affect them. They're 3 melee guys, but they will shoot at you if you get far enough away, and so then their shield will drop. That might be the best way to fight these guys. This way you're not having to go in there and deal with them in melee. Now once there's only one person left, it's easier. So, you know, if there's 3 people, they kind of knock you off balance while you're trying to do the overcharge to get through their shield. Okay, so once you've killed the 3 assassins, then we need to head up to the platform above, and the boss will spawn. Alright, so as you can see, we'll head up into this. Just land nearby. Okay, head over, and the boss should spawn here. Okay, find the Syndicate leader, and now we're in a kill box here, so they can shoot down at us. My shield's not on, crap. Okay, we got the leader. Now we'll take out a little henchman. Alright, if yours is like mine, it just still says find the Syndicate flight logs after you've looted the boss and you make sure you got that quest book. It's just kind of glitched. You can go ahead and head back to the Bene Gesserit trainer. Alright, after talking to the Bene Gesserit trainer, you'll be given the next quest, which is to practice using the voice to compel, and you'll have to go speak to some people. Right, so you're going to have to use this on NPCs, so it's easier to go down to the very beginning area to do this, but you can do this anywhere you want. But you have to go back to Haga Basin for this, unfortunately. I wish they would let us do this skills here. But yeah, we'll be using Compel, and then we have to also go all the way up the tree here to get to Litany Against Fear. So make sure you have enough points for this. If not, you may want to respec your skill tree, which you can do, I think, every 48 hours right now. Right, so you'll want to go ahead and level this up because this will be the next one you have to use. Use each of them 3 times, and then you will come back here. Alright, and we'll go to the Imperial Consulate, which is this building here with the coin sitting outside of it. You want to know the Bene Gesserit trainer is just right around the corner, so basically attached to the consulate building. Alright, we'll go in here and speak to the person it tells you, which is alright, we'll be speaking with Lady Margot in here, so you just come in here and the quest line should tell you which one she is. Once you come into the Imperium area here with the coin where you pay your taxes, just on the right before you get to these people at the desk, is Lady Margot. So you'll talk to her and complete the quest here. and then you'll have finished off all of the Bene Gesserit quest line, and you'll be done. Make sure to check out the Swordmaster Training guide, and if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. Have an awesome day.